Because they are tech-savvy, every gadget imaginable, almost an extension of their bodies. They multitask, talk, walk, listen, and type and text, and their priorities are simple. They come first. Just ask Marion Saltzman, an ad agency executive at J. Walter Thompson, who's been managing and tracking millennials since they entered the workforce.
Some of them are the greatest generation. They're more hardworking. They have these tools to get things done. They're enormously clever and resourceful. Some of the others are absolutely incorrigible. It's their way or the highway. The rest of us are old, redundant, should be retired. How dare we come in? Anyone over 30 not only can't be trusted, can't be counted upon to be sort of coherent.
Saltzman says today's manager must be half shrink and half diplomat. Just take me through some of the do's and don'ts in how you must speak to this generation of young workers.
You do have to speak to them a little bit like a therapist on television might speak to a patient. You can't be harsh. You cannot tell them you're disappointed in them. You can't really ask them to live and breathe a company because they're living and breathing themselves, and that keeps them very busy. These young people tell you what time their yoga classes, and the day's work will be organized around the fact that they have this commitment. So you actually envy them. How wonderful it is to be young and have your priorities so clear. The flip side of it is how awful it is to be managing the extension sort of the teenage babysitting pool.
You better make sure.
All of which has led, as you'd expect, to a whole new industry or epidemic of consultants. Experts, they allege, in how to motivate, train, and yes, sometimes nanny the extraterrestrials who've taken over the workplace. Mary Crane, who once whipped up soufflés for the White House, now offers crash courses for millennials in, well, the obvious.
It's a perfect storm that we've created to put these people in a position where they suddenly have to perform as professionals and haven't been trained.
Basic training like how to eat with a knife and fork, or indeed how to work. Today, fewer and fewer middle-class kids hold summer jobs because mowing lawns does not get you into Harvard.
They have climbed Mount Everest. They've been down to Machu Picchu to help excavate it, but they've never punched a time clock. They have no idea what it's like to actually be in an office at 9 o'clock with people handing them work and, oh, by the way, possibly asking them to stay late in the evening or their weekends.
Crane maintains that while this generation has extraordinary technical skills, childhoods filled with trophies and adulation didn't prepare them for the cold realities of work.
So you now have a generation coming into the workplace that has grown up with the expectation that they will automatically win and they'll always be rewarded, even for just showing up.
To what extent are you having to tell the boomers, the bosses, the 50 to 60-year-olds, the people who got to change are you guys, not them?
The boomers do need to hear the message that they're going to have to start focusing more on coaching rather than bossing. If this generation in particular, you just tell them, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do this, they truly will walk. And every major law firm, every major company knows this is the future.
A future of sweet-talking bosses. No more pay your dues just like I did. If this generation knows anything, it's that there are more jobs than young people to fill them.